Oh, we're good.
Roll.
Okay.
We've been rolling.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is how this
I don't know. I got all weird. I mean, I'm always weird, but I got real weird right there. Welcome to Caffeinate and Advocate, the show where we sip caffeinated beverages, because I'm not having coffee today, and talk all things mental health. I'm your host, Jess, and I am joined by the mastermind of Caffeinate and Advocate, Jamie Bush, who you've seen many times, either on Caffeinate and Advocate or our little pop-ups. So we'll be doing a pop-up here shortly. But Jamie is oh my gosh, Jamie, what all are you at Pure Star? A little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I think my main title is CPS and CRS, and then I supervise.
And you are
I'm in the forensics. I work inside the Blair County Prison.
You're our advisory board chairperson. So Jamie does a lot of different things here at Pure Star. But I reeled you in today to really talk about your work in social media. So Jamie is our mastermind in our social media as well. So what all platforms of social media are we on?
So we're currently really focused on TikTok, Facebook. We have the YouTube going pretty quickly. And then we also are incorporating back into Instagram. That had been something kind of fallen short a little bit, but we're trying to bring that back too. But the main hits are like the Reels and the TikToks that are like really getting some hype.
Yeah.
So, but Facebook's our main one. People are really navigating to the Facebook.
Right before we started filming, or actually probably while we were filming, but I just mentioned that our social media is a happy place. It's a happy place to visit. We in Peer Star and Peer Support want to focus on mental health recovery and wellness, and you have really taken the lead of making our social media an energetic, exciting take on wellness and recovery. So I didn't know if we could just talk a little bit about using social media for positive, because again, you've really kind of taken the lead with that. So what's kind of your mentality of using social media?
I think that it's not just like you said, it is happy, and we do a lot of energetic things. Some people will comment and be like, it's just, you guys are goofy. And we like that because it really gives you a vibe, but at the same time, it's real. And we like to touch base on real topics and real scenarios. So we like to bring in, like right now, we're incorporating men's mental health. We want to make sure that we're touching base on how men feel. And we want to start to incorporate other cultures and things that also, and be able to touch base on where their mental health stands. And also just the realistic versions of what people may struggle with. Some of the videos that we do, like our holistic approaches, we want to make sure that everybody knows that wellness is a whole thing about your whole body, and it's a whole community. And I think also is involving the community. And as the community starts to see the things that we're doing, it's navigating them in and wanting to know more. They're like, oh, well, mental illness doesn't have to be boring, or recovery doesn't have to be boring. And we can navigate these things together and come together as a team and outreach to the community, and especially for those people maybe not in our services. And I think incorporating people from all regions so we can get a better taste of like what's happening and where they're at.
I think it's so neat that, people usually use social media it's a platform. And so a lot of times you're really trying to direct what you're creating to certain people. But I really feel like the things that you're doing are really for everybody, and not only the people who follow our social media, but the people who are helping create these items.
And that's a big thing too. Like, it's not just me, we have the advisory board. There's plenty of people behind the scenes, and plenty of people who are stepping up to volunteer to create the blogs and be involved in recovery stories. And I mean, I don't personally do the recovery stories, of course, that's you guys, but there's people that are navigating to that because they want a platform to share. Mm-hmm. They want to be realistic. They want to be able to say, hey, this is what provides me hope. But I think the biggest thing is acknowledging that we have an entire group of people and individuals who are out here with these masterminds and presenting these ideas and saying, hey, we should focus on this recovery topic, or hey, these are things that I really think that would hit home for certain people. And it's true, it's working for them. So we give the ideas and they take the lead.
I think what's really neat too is every piece of social media content is developed by individuals who have lived experience with recovery or mental health struggles or substance use struggles. So for anyone who isn't aware of that, like you said, these are very real. They're real because they're coming from lived experience, and not only lived experience with a struggle, but lived experience with managing the struggle or, finding a new way, those kind of things.
And the aftermath. I think that that's a big outreach too, is they are coming from lived experiences where they also now are able to facilitate what it's like after. And, here we are in this position, in this career, and we're saying, hey, we've done it. We've come out of there. We're out of the darkness. We're doing this now. And we want to give to you ways that we've found a way out. And it might be a little goofy. Yeah, you see us sometimes dancing around in elf hats or talking about pickles. Or
I was just going to say, what's been your favorite?
The pickle thing, I think it was a whole vibe. I think the pickle thing, it didn't make sense to most people.
National Pickle Day.
It was National Pickle Day. And we were like, if you find yourself in a pickle, peer support can support you. But it wasn't about the pickle and support. It was about how I watched eyes light up in a room at a networking meeting because they felt involved. And it's showing them that we want you here and we want to involve you and make sure that you feel that you're giving more than just your day-to-day.
That's an awesome segue into, I had two questions that were kind of popping up as you were talking. And one of the questions was, everyone who is involved, everyone who's creating a blog, anyone who's doing a recovery story, who's doing these, goofy yet wonderful, social media kind of reels and videos. Has anyone given any feedback? I mean, you just mentioned about, they feel seen, they feel involved. Has anyone given you any feedback of how being involved in social media for good has impacted them?
I think that it's the laughter that comes with it, and it makes them step out of their comfort zone. And anybody that's involved in some of those videos definitely say that. They're like, I've never pictured myself doing that. People on the outside are like, wow, your job seems so fun. And it's like, that's the thing. We're not trying to add more stress to our plates. This is a place where we can feel secure. So being able to do those fun little videos takes the pressure off. And I think that's the biggest thing. They see us as a fun group of people, but yet they know us. And some of the people that follow our social media know that we also sit in rooms and can be very serious. And it's not all fun and games all the time. Like, they know that we are out here providing support and being those supports for people in a serious way as well.
And I think you've touched upon that on some of the social media posts. I think there's some reels, there's some videos where I think we saw one in the fall of you and one of our regional directors beating a pumpkin up. So, and it was real, and it was, hey, I'm sad, or, and it wasn't the silly, goofy like the pickle, the National Pickle Day. It was much more of a, hey, sometimes we feel this way, and we have to be creative to figure out how to feel it.
And I think there was one that sticks out to me a lot, and it was a more serious one too, and it was focused on listening and just it wasn't a sad video, but it was just presenting that me and another CPS walked in, and she was having a bad day, and it was like just sitting there in silence and like showing people that it's okay and how to actively listen versus always needing to support or help or be the go-getter. It's okay to take a minute down. And we're not trying to always paint mental health as this being a amazing thing. We know that mental health and mental illness can be a struggle. So we want to show you that we also understand the struggle.
Yeah, well, I think you're doing a phenomenal job. It is a happy place. It's also a very real place to visit. As you mentioned, we're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We are on LinkedIn as well. We don't share as much on LinkedIn just because it's more of a business platform. We do more of the businessy stuff on there, but we do share our blogs, and we do share our recovery stories and occasional things there. But kind of last question, is there anything in the works or maybe some hopes you have for using social media for good?
I think that, our outlook right now, we had a talk about that today actually, is like 2024 is just bringing the consistency and absolutely touching every region. Like, we want to make sure that people from all regions that work in Pure Star are having the opportunity to be involved, and also incorporating those new things such as we don't just work from one county, and there's different cultures to be had in other counties and what we can do to support them. And also resources. We want to make sure that the resources are put out there that we're able to use and access to. So I think that that's where we're at, just the consistency part, just being real consistent.
I love the idea of, recognizing different cultures, because, you know, I do feel like some of the areas that we work in, you have very little diversity
Yes.
in cultures. And then we have other areas we work in where there's so much diversity. And so finding that balance of getting people involved from those different areas so that we can be all inclusive to the different types of holidays that are celebrated, to the different types of beliefs, to the different types of needs.
And I think a big thing is connection. You know, we really want to feel connected, and that's not just within the company. We want to feel connected to the community. We want to know what's happening in our communities and being able to utilize that too. And again, supporting our peers along the way.
Awesome. Well, Jamie, I think that's a pretty good place to start. So again, you're doing an awesome job. If you haven't followed our social media, I highly recommend just do a search for PeerStar, and you'll find us on multiple platforms. So if you have ideas, if you want to follow along, jump on there. This one here will probably be looking at your messages or looking at your comments, and we'll definitely take them and run with them. So, Jamie, as always, it's a pleasure. Until next time, thanks for joining.
Good job, kids. Yay.